How's your Tuesday going? Yeah, it's Tuesday already. A minute ago it was Friday. Or at least that's what it seems like. Do you ever think that there's something more to being in time, on time? I think there's more to time itself. It's a strange thing, time. Shamanically, we know that we can stretch it, shorten it, bend it, be outside of it. However, we have the concept also that you can buy time. You can't sell it though, can you? Actually, you can. You can sell advertising time. So yeah, you can sell time too. Isn't it weird how we manage time? How we do things with time and how time passes. When we were children, summers were elastic long. Days were endless. As we got older, things got rather faster, didn't they? Just a little bit at a time. Suddenly it's like a runaway train. We're catching up to ourselves all the time. Now, maybe it's time to think about doing something about that. And there's always time to do something, because we're always filling our time. Do you ever get the feeling though that there's something more to just about everything that we do, are, see, feel, hear, touch, taste? How does it work? What about when we're dreaming? Is there something more to dreams? And what's this daydreaming lark? What's this thing that they talk to us about when they talk about us being able to lucidly dream? Or the thing that I talk about a lot, journeying, which is going into a dreamlike trance state. It's kind of, I usually say there's a difference between meditation and journeying, in order to get people to understand that we're focusing on something completely different. Or you may not be, I don't know. For me, journeying is different because we're going out. We're not focusing in the way, we're not going inwards. Although we're doing a lot with what's inside us at the time. We're opening our heart and our minds to the idea that there is something more to this. That there are other dimensions, energies that we can enter into. Because there are. I do it all the time. Actually, I probably do it a little bit more than I should, because it's so much nicer there. It's very restful, which is great at the moment, because at this time in our lives, in the Earth's cycle of history, I think we need a place where we can time out, zone out, and have a rest that brings us back refreshed and sometimes curiously tickled. Because we get guidance there. We understand that there are issues that we can deal with there, but it's all done with metaphor, so it's not really in your face literal stuff. You have to take time to decipher some of it. Otherwise, you will know right away. And then there are the power animals. They are so dinky sometimes, and then they're so menacingly large, but they're always on our side. I've posted an Eventbrite that I'm doing on the 31st, which is this coming Sunday, on Introduction to Shamanic Journeying. So if you haven't done it before and you're interested to do so, then go ahead, join us. It's one of those things that you're getting an opportunity to come and try, and you never know what you're going to get. As Mrs. Gump would say, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get inside them. It's a variety of experiences. And I can't tell you which one you will have because it's unique to you. It's all yours, not mine. I'm just bringing the space for it to happen within. Some people will go straight there. Some people will have power animals coming up to meet them. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you. Thank goodness you've come, because we have so much stuff to give you, to tell you, to teach you. And other people will be like I did. Nah, I'm not getting anything. Don't understand what's going on. What the hell is going on here? No, what? How can they have Disney on speed? I have got fog. There is fog. Purple fog. Nothing. It took me a while to get out of my way and understand that my mind chatter and my absolute tension in order to get somewhere, gotta get it right, was actually holding me back. One day it happened that really I was so tired I was almost asleep, and just in that space between the dipping into the sleep state and not being quite so awake, I saw something. And I'll tell you about that another time. But since then I've been journeying quite happily, and not always to the drum, sometimes with a rattle, sometimes with clapping my hands. That's me just getting a reminder that I'm doing something else quite shortly. So, join us. And if you've done journeying before but you haven't gone for a while and you need a little refresher, or you could do with a little bit of connection, let's do that. It's all about the ritual of doing it that actually makes it happen on purpose. Now, I mentioned something about ritual yesterday, and people get kind of weird about that word. It's quite what they call semantically packed. Ritual, rites of passage. Oh, that's a bit strange. Actually, we have rites of passage all the time. When your child is born, that's a rite of passage. You've become a mother. Not even for the first time, maybe the second or third. Some people have done it 7 or 8 times and even more. That to me is true bravery, but there you go. That's a rite of passage. And it's the first, the Buddhists would say, the first trauma that the new soul actually experiences, which is when part of the soul is taken away, the part that remembers all the past lives, which is why we come into life thinking that this is the first one, the only one, and will ever only be one. Until perhaps we learn differently. That depends on how you believe. Depends on your belief. None of it is wrong. It's all right for us. Each one of us, our own beliefs are true for us. That's okay. That's fine. That's how it should be. That's when the first soul loss begins. That little bit of soul coming away. It hangs around though. Other rites of passage: walking for the first time, speaking for the first time, losing your first baby tooth, losing your first adult tooth, becoming a teen. Now there's a rite of passage that we don't celebrate. And there are certain cultures who still do the ritualistic celebration of that. And actually it's a very good thing to celebrate, because it just didn't go from one day to the next suddenly, hey, you're a teenager today. On the face of it, it did. A day went by and suddenly there's all this expectation, there's all this stuff. Why is everything different? Nobody told me. How does that work? Whereas the becoming of the teenage part of your life has taken quite a while, because there's been bubbling under the surface, there have been changes happening, very subtle, very strange, very slow, like a big cauldron of magic hormones all bubbling around and getting stirred around, until suddenly here's this teenager who arrives. And you're 13, oh yeah, there you go, have some money, go and get a Game Boy, go and do this, go and do that. That's it. Have a birthday party maybe. There's no advice about how to be. There's no understanding of what the expectations are going to be about being a teenager. There's no information about the lulls and the tidal washes and the tsunamis of frustration and anger and fear and insecurity and acne and things like that. There are different ways of dealing with it, and there are ceremonies and rituals that can be done for that understanding. And psychologically, it kind of helps the teenager, the new teenager, the neophyte of teenagedom, to understand that these things will happen. And when they understand these things will happen, it's natural, and it happens to everybody, not just them. It can help to ease some of the trials and tribulations. So ceremony for rites of passage is a good thing. I believe. You may not. That's okay. Other rites of passage. Well, we used to celebrate the 21st birthday. Now we kind of celebrate the 18th because we can go out and get drunk. Yeah, let's get absolutely stocious, because that's really a good idea. 21 used to be getting the key of the door. That was signifying that you could come and go as you pleased. You were no longer under the rules, perhaps, or the authority of the parents so much. You were gifted your own authority to go and do as you pleased. But that is a misnomer as well, because you couldn't do as you pleased. You still had authorities, you still had duties, you still had people's expectations to either live up to or live down to. Your choice. Ceremony is very important, and we have dismissed it for generations. We only do it for births, deaths and marriages. Sometimes we do it for a few of the birthdays, the biggies. And those are rites of passage too. Those are marking a time of life when there are changes happening inside our bodies, inside our minds, the way that we think, and the expectations of others and ourselves. So think about what it is that you do that's a ritual every day. How you make your tea in the morning, what time you get up, what order do you get dressed, brush your teeth, comb your hair, have a shower. That's all a ritual for the beginning of the day. So yeah, ritual is an everyday thing. And it can actually help you when you are mindful of the rituals that you're using and doing every day. They can help you to actually pull time in and get it to a place where it's not running away from you or with you. We'll talk about that tomorrow. See you then.